Oh, so you two are the honored guests Miss Farina mentioned.
Of course, of course! How could they not attend a meeting such as this?
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbor.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly got...
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really...
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Udex Nuvillette right in front of you. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined. Coming from you, that's...
but I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat...
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry.
Oh. And just how...
Because we found evidence that proved he left...
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
The fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. So, do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying...
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the content...
Hold on. The water in the...
I suppose this is also a sign of...
Huh? I don't quite...
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
A day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like the problem inside has been suppressed.
Let me guess, we're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me a present.
Very well. It was indeed just as you said.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now?
So what gift must the loser give?
He already has tons of tea in his office.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness.
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the...
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would...
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business.
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermo...
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui Harbor.
I must say, we've spent long and Miss Farina. As the Hydro Archon, I am sure you.
What are you trying?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Yet, here you are, relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if the prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the Hearth have devoted But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have utterly failed to take—
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us? How are the people you've sworn to protect supposed to survive?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon— Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see—
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can—
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor— Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not— Oh, that look in your eyes. Have you not even—
The emergency—
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnity—
The Oratrice?
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly— Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not a—
Yeah, yes.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina— Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so— Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that. Oh, Paimon's super full. That cake was great.
If it's on—
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake it is getting late. Why don't we call it a day?
Very well. We'll—
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss—
Paimon's coming too.
The tea party turned— Why,
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, child was just an excuse.
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father. Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very... That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are...
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them. Especially Linny.
You mean Ridesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that Linny's so eager to prove himself that he can't learn to rely... By the way, and you can just consider this... You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around...
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty.
Didn't he say he was coming here on... Forget it. He did give us an up. I will be meeting some...
Do you require help with any prep?
No need. I will take care of it. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that...
Oh? Come over here, you little critter. You dare to run from me? Stop!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Ark. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are...
The fear in her pupils is genuine. So perhaps she's not... I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares... Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Udex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively...
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please...
News from the Fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that...
Probably the handiwork of that Rides.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the... Oh, and I have an addition...
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Farina. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the Fortress of Meripede will be a front. Linny and his group will be responsible for... You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you, so they wouldn't have hidden any.
You attacked the...
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all,
Alright then.
I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Of course, that is all just how I feel. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch...
Neuvillette, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the Primordial Sea. So as expected, the Knave has turned up the pressure on Farina. Permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro... You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else.
If by the phrase, "you guys," you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I believe so. The fortress has a long... And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining all of a sudden?
You may be closer to the truth than you...
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon, huh?
Please do not be so surprised.
Neuvillette! Neuvillette, are you listening?
My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon's...
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to keep...
Right, of course. There's still something Paimon...
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about sea...
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself and... They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power.
There are 7 elemental archons, and...
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much. Given the status quo, however, I would...
Oh, so even you can't...
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit? We'll see you another time.
Take care.